How to give good feedback about writing. Why look for feedback from peers? Well, studies suggest that writers look forward to receiving constructive criticism rather than either praise or criticism alone. Consider using these strategies. Give praise, but also include some criticism, or criticism plus a suggestion for improvement. Strategy 2, use a hedge. A hedge is a word like I think or maybe. Number 3, personalization. You make a good point. The word you here is a direct address to the person receiving the criticism. Fourth strategy, ask a question rather than make a statement. Did you find any sources to back this up? Key thing here is this. Too much praise or too much hedging may suggest or lead the writer to think that they really don't need to revise anything. Here are 3 different kinds of comments. First kind of comments is praise, giving credit to the author for some characteristic, attribute, skill, something that is part of the draft. That's a good thing, but you can overuse it. The second kind of comment is criticism. This is an expression of dissatisfaction due to a fault in some aspect of the draft. It's really important that you have that, but what's most important is number 3 here, this suggestion or constructive criticism. And what that means is you need to include explicit or specific recommendations for fixing the faults or improving some aspects of the draft. So what makes for a good comment? Good comments are specific enough to communicate the point you're trying to make to the writers. They focus on higher order concerns, like whether claims have enough evidence to be convincing, or whether the organization is clear or perhaps confusing. Good reviewers or commenters only address lower order concerns, that is, things like spelling, grammar, and punctuation, if those things interfere with their understanding of the writer's message. So here's one strategy for responding or commenting on other students' work. You can respond as a reader. Quote, as an audience who does not have much knowledge about the topic, I need to look it up in the dictionary. It is much better if you add a simple and brief explanation. However, in general, I think you've added some deep insight into your draft, and it shows you've taken some time to analyze aspects of your experience very carefully. Here's a second strategy, comprehension. In this comment, the writer explains how it affected their reading. Quote, your introduction was engaging and fun to read. However, I had to stop and go back a few times to reread due to some spelling and grammar issues. By proofreading and removing these small errors, it will make your introduction smoother and allow us to fully enjoy your writing. Here's a third strategy, comment on the style of the writing. I would suggest working on improving your word choice in order to make your writing more sophisticated and interesting to read. Another step you could take to increase the formality of your composition will be to get rid of your contractions, that is, words such as I''am, I'm, rather than I am. I look forward to reading the final draft. Now, as somebody receiving comments from people, you have to have a choice to make. Do I have to implement every suggestion they make? The answer to that is, of course, use your own judgment about those comments. If you think the suggestion will improve your draft, then use it. If you disagree or your reviewers have misunderstood your point, you can reply to ask for further explanation. Reviews should give useful feedback to help you achieve the goals of your document. So when am I finished revising? At what point are you done here? Well, when you have considered each point the reviewers have made, that's a marker that you're pretty much done. When you have rethought the language choices you've made about your audience and about the language that you're using, that's another marker. And finally, when you have reread the draft several times, once just for spelling, once just for organization, once for tone, perhaps once for completeness, at that point, you've pretty much done it. You're done. You're ready to move on to the next document.